Coming up on NYC Sports Tonight, check out our game of the week, boys and girls against Erasmus Hall. And what a game it was. Find out who's still in the PSAL football playoff picture for the road to the title. All is here for their perspective on past and future matchups, and we'll have a lot more on NYC Sports Tonight. We're back here at Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Brooklyn, and man, what a week it was in high school football, especially quarterfinals, game of the week, boys and girls, Erasmus Hall, intensity. Refs were throwing flags. Everybody was in on the act, the coaches and the players.
Yeah, it's a big game. Everybody's trying to go to Yankee Stadium, and Erasmus, they had to get over that hump of being an up and down team, so they were really intense, and it was a big game for boys and girls. They're trying to get to the next level. I mean,
you would think was it flag day that day for the referees?
Well, it was intense. Both teams were playing hard. The coaches were really into the game. The players, there was some extra hits after plays, but that's what you expect at this time of year with playoff football. Everybody's trying to get to Yankee Stadium. And
what impressed me about the intensity of this game, after the game was over, usually the players come across and they exchange, hands. They had to wait at least 5 minutes for these guys to calm down. Players and coaches, and also security was on the field.
Yeah, they did, and they came together. They shook hands like usual, and everything was fine. So at the end of the day, everything was fine. All the players calmed down. They knew boys and girls took the loss well, and Erasmus, they took the win well. They didn't get too excited. They know they still have other games to play. So at the end of the day, it worked out pretty well.
It was also, I saw both coaches exchanging, talking to each other after the game. This is stuff I've never seen before at the high school level.
Well,
they usually talk after the game, but not like this. And they weren't arguing with each other, but I think they were both just trying to calm each other down.
I think they were talking about how how the intense of the game it was, and you saw they had it was a nice conversation and everything was fine, but and basically I guess at the end of the day you have two teams from Brooklyn, and I guess they can telling each other, hey, I'd like to see you go on and represent Brooklyn. So it was great.
And it's only one team that could get through the eye of the needle, right?
That's it. There's only one team, and you have to go through. Now Erasmus has to go through the Bronx, and on the other side you have Tottenville still there.
Now Lincoln also had a tough game against Jefferson, 30-28. They just got by.
Well, yeah, that was another intense game. You're talking about intense games. Lincoln was up in that game, I think 20-0, and then in that second half, Jefferson came back, made it a close game. So that was a really intense game. They talked about the coaches arguing with each other at halftime, and then at the end of the game, that people were talking about it on the blogs, on NYCFootball.com. But that's why I spoke to the coach, Thomas Jefferson. He said, it wasn't anything big. They were just talking. Heat of the moment, the middle of the game. You're down 20-0. You're in the locker room. Of course, the offense is going to be mad at defense. Defense mad at the offense. But they got it together. Obviously, they came back. They lost only 30-28. And at the end of the game, everything was fun.
Now the thing is, when Erasmus plays Tottenville, right, this weekend, semifinal matchup, which Erasmus Hall will show up because. Are they emotionally spent after this game? That's the question. Well, because Tottenville, blew their team away. Right?
Well, Erasmus beat Tottenville first game of the season, so Erasmus is not going into the game thinking we're going to lose. They're thinking we can win this game. We beat them before, but Tottenville, I guess, is saying, hey, they beat us before, but now we know the game plan. We should, and we've gotten a lot better.
And they got a new quarterback too.
Well, I can't say they've gotten a lot better. They do have another quarterback, but they've Augustus Edwards has been playing well. Alvin Cornelius, so they have Tottenville is still loaded.
So who are you going with?
I'm not predicting this game. I'm not predicting any game. I like all the teams the same, and I don't want anybody upset with me. Let the madman do the predictions on the website, and they'll take care from there.
I'm going to go on the line. I'm going to go with E. Hall.
Well, I'm
going to go with E. Hall.
There you go.
Lincoln and Clinton.
That's the game of the week. Lincoln and Clinton. That should be a really hard-fought game. And you know, you have Lincoln from Brooklyn, you have Clinton from the Bronx, so it's they representing their boroughs. And I think Lincoln is going to do really well, but Clinton, they have Ashton McKenzie and they have Ryan Camillo. These guys are pretty good.
And how much did this game take out of Lincoln also? That's the question too, because you know they were in a heated battle, you know, last weekend.
Yeah, but you know, people said that Lincoln they weren't tested throughout the season. I think this last game they were a little tested because it came down to the end, and they may be ready. They're going to be ready.
All right, well, we'll see this weekend, right?
We'll see what happens this weekend.
After everyone eats their turkey and gets a little lazy on that day, they'll be out there to practice the next day, and we'll see what happens this weekend.
Should be a good game.
All right, we'll be back with more from Buffalo Wild Wings right after this.
It's another perfect day out here today.
Can I get you anything else?
We gotta get back to work.
On the move. We even saw a kid taking a bath in a water fountain. Whoa, I spoke too soon. This just in. A freak storm is blowing into the area. We're going to be experiencing hurricane-force winds and dense fog, followed by sheets of driving rain. Stay inside, hunker down, grab a beer. This is going to be a long one.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
We're receiving reports of hail the size of... Oh, boy.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Brooklyn. Joining me is the MVP of the game, Erasmus versus boys and girls, and what a game it was. And joining me is Shaquell Jackson. Welcome to the game.
Thank you.
And welcome to the show also.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
What a game it was. The intensity, man. Have you ever played in a game that intense?
No, I've never been in a game with such intensity. The intensity was at a high level. Everybody was playing very fast, and it was very intense.
The beginning of the game, what was the mindset of yourself and also of your team?
My mindset as a senior, you know, nobody wants to go home. Everybody wants to go out as a champion. And I just made sure I instilled that into my team. And we came out with the fire knowing that we could win.
Now, this is an old question. You know, I always ask, well, what does your coach say to you at halftime? What did your coach say to you guys at halftime going into the locker room?
He told us just keep doing what we were doing. Don't ease up. Keep our foot on the pedal. And if we keep doing that, then we'll win easily.
Well, the refs a factor in this game, a big factor to you?
I wouldn't say the refs was a big factor. I would say it was just so intense. Everyone's fighting everybody, and you know, the ref's job is to keep everybody settled down.
When did you figure you maybe had this game in the bucket? Maybe when you ran that touchdown?
After we scored that third, after Wayne scored his touchdown, I figured, you know, the game would be easy. But at the end of the game, we seen that it wasn't.
Now, it's been said, and I also spoke to your coach. He said sometimes you guys show up, sometimes you guys don't. What was the case this week, last week?
Last week we showed up. We showed up the week before that. For Clinton, coming into the playoffs, we knew that we have a reputation of being a roller coaster team. We want to silence the critics and just do it for ourselves.
So it's a matter now of keeping your focus, because this week you're playing Tottenville.
Yes, big game.
Size up against Tottenville, a team that you faced during the regular season.
Yeah, we played Tottenville in the regular season. We know where we can get off against them. We know where we can't, and it's a big game for me and all the senior class, because our sophomore year, that was a team that knocked us out in the same round, same team. The only difference is we was at home, and we're looking to return a favor.
So, what is the strategy going into this game?
I can't give you too much. I can't give you too much.
All right. They don't have Brandon Barnes.
No.
Is that a factor?
I wouldn't say he's not too much, because the quarterback that they have now, we've seen that he can pass the ball. He's a good runner. So it's not really a big difference.
Preparing for this week, how will you prepare for this game this week? How will you go about preparing for this game? Because this is really going for all the marbles right now.
Just our mindset as a team. Our mindset, we're focused. We know what the goal is. We're coming out intense today. We had a great day of practice, great film, great time to learn and see what we have to do for this week going into the game.
You know what? I always want to know also, what went on in the locker room after this game? What did your coach have to say to you then? Did you guys just take a sigh of relief?
You can say we was happy the game was over. Yes,
that was tough.
Because at the end of the game, we seen that it was getting down to the wire. And after my touchdown, thanks to the line and our receivers blocking, we seen that we could have eased up a little bit, no more pressure. And we came into the locker room. Malik's grandmother spoke to us, because you know rest in peace to his mother. She passed away the day before the game. And she spoke to us, coach spoke to us, and we were just focused on this week, next game.
So that must have been a big factor too, going into this game. Right?
Yes. Yeah, our coach always preaches brotherhood in the locker room, and Malik is our family away from his family. And although his mother is not ours, she's like a mom to us because of the unity we have in the locker room, and we just want to pull it out for him and his family.
Now, you're riding high from your win. How will you keep that high going for Saturday? My last question.
Just staying focused, and not getting too overconfident, knowing that we beat them already, because they have a chip on their shoulder coming in, knowing that we beat them in the season, and we have a chip as well because they beat us sophomore year in the semis.
Well, I'm gonna wish you luck, and hopefully we'll see you at the finals at Yankee Stadium.
Hopefully that's the goal.
All right,
that's the goal.
Congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
Right. We'll be back with more. We're going to talk with the team, E. Hall, the Dutchman, right after this. All right, we're back here at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'm sitting amongst 3 young men who just come off a victory over boys and girls. And joining me,
Luder Jean-Louis, Richard Ogarro,
Cyrus Greene.
All right, gentlemen, let's go over last week's game. Boys and girls, going into that week, how did you guys feel about your chances of beating them?
We knew that they was gonna come out hard, and it's been a rivalry between us since we was a freshman, even longer than that. But like ever since we've been playing boys and girls, it's always been a match with them and smash mouth football. So we was excited, like, cause we getting ready to play some good football.
With me, I felt that it was a fair chance of us winning because, you know, like he said, it was a rivalry game about either 100 years or more. And I just knew that after we beat them the first game, they were going to come back for revenge.
I felt like we had a good chance of winning because the first time we played them, it was such a close game. I know we left points on the board, and the defense just messed up. We gave up one big long drive to them, and the offense wasn't in sync at the time. But now that we're on point, I think we could be any better.
Now, the intensity of that game, I haven't been to a game quite like that where the referees were in on it. The coaches were yelling and screaming at each other. It was kind of wild for a minute. Matter of fact, they had to calm you guys down before you exchange hands. You know, you walk across the field, you know, nice game. They had to really calm you guys down because it was that intense. Matter of fact, I didn't want to talk to y'all after the game.
Yeah, it'd be like that on the field. I mean, guys were very hyped, angry after the game, and like we were really excited. I mean, we knew a couple guys on the other side of the ball. I know a couple like Afuma, Mustafa, knew a couple guys on the team. So I just congrats them, like yo, y'all played a good game, and you know they was wishing us good luck, like on some good sportsman's team.
I mean, I would just say it was good old-fashioned football because it's a passionate game. Everybody shared their feelings. I mean, if you down points in the playoffs, you be angry too.
It was just a regular rivalry game. You know, a rivalry game is going to be a hard-fought game. It's like the Steelers and the Ravens, smash them out football, and emotion started flaring. So you know it's going to be a couple of fights and all that. But it was a good full game.
Now, when it comes to working out, I hear you have a pretty good workout regimen there, right?
Yeah, we do. We work out really hard. We just came back from a workout today. My legs is tired. First thing I'm doing, I get home, sleep, shower. I'm tired.
Now, I know you also have a tape on the site.
What tape? Oh yeah. Yeah, our workouts is very intense. Our coach wants us to be at tip-top shape all the time. So when we play teams, we're never tired in the fourth quarter. We're coming out just as if we started the first game. Started in the first quarter.
Now, which Erasmus Hall team will show up this week when you play Tottenville in the semifinals?
I believe the true Erasmus Hall will show up in the semifinals. The Erasmus Hall that we are built up to be.
But you're known for being an up-and-down team, right? A roller coaster ride.
Yeah, we're known for a roller coaster team, but we also known for when it's the best competition, we come out and play our best. And I know when we play our best, you can't beat us.
I'm going to ask you a question. If you don't know, not a problem. Al Davis. And what does Al Davis, unfortunate his death, means to this team?
Al Davis, I mean, we send our condolences to him, and we just going to play our hearts out and leave everything we got on the field.
Well, I mean, I knew he was a member of our high school, and I'm sorry for his death and his loss, and we just gonna take it for him.
Condolences to him and his family. He was an alumni, so you know he bleed that red, blue, and white. So, I mean, we're just gonna win it.
What will it take to beat Tottenville?
The least mistakes, that's the team that's gonna win the game. We gotta give hard effort every play from the first snap to the last, and we can't afford to do any mistakes because a team like Tottenville is gonna capitalize on our mistakes. So we gotta stay crisp all around the ball.
One thing I want to ask, I don't know if I asked this question before, maybe you could correct me. After the game was over, do you guys have anything else to say to each other? Walking, I know your coach may have spoke to you in the locker room and that sort of thing, but once you went home after that game, what were your thoughts?
My thoughts after the game was a tough game. I had to wipe my head. I mean, in the dog piles, it was rough in the dog piles. It was rough. It was rough. Going in at halftime, all the screaming and yelling.
My thoughts after the game was, I remembered sophomore year. Sophomore year, Tottenville knocked us out the playoffs, semifinal round. This year we got a chance to repay them.
All right, well, gentlemen, I want to wish you good luck against Tottenville and may the best team win. That's it for us. We'll be back right after this. Check out our game of the week between Clinton versus Lincoln and Madman predictions. Get on and stay on NYCFootball.com.